Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is about addiction, addictive behaviors, how to recognize you have an addiction, how to sit with yourself and accept the fact, how to overcome it, heal from it, and also how you can transform and transcend it. So basically today, this video, it's all about addiction, and I will share my personal experiences. If this triggers you, please don't watch it. If you're curious about it, you can definitely watch it, and all I can say is that it will help you. So when I was 12 years old, I started to develop my first addiction / eating disorder. Like so many girls, boys now as well, I started to develop an anorexia eating disorder. And that transformed into extreme bulimia and into food fear, food dysmorphia, I think it's called, into binge eating, into all of these type of things. So in my life so far, the biggest addiction I had was my relationship with food and my relationship with punishing myself. And looking on it now, I realize that so often in my life right now as an adult, I feel nervous and restless when good things happen to me, because deeply in my core, I feel like I don't deserve them. Deeply in my core, I feel I'm not worth it, I'm not lovable to deserve the good things that are coming into my life right now and for the last months and years. And all of this stems from obviously the upbringing with the parents, but also my yet not capability to love myself deeply, to accept myself exactly the way I am. Sorry, my throat. So addictions are very much about fulfilling your unfulfilled life and controlling what you cannot control. When you have a feeling everything's out of control, addiction gives you a feeling that you are in control of something, though obviously it's a false control, but it feels true for a while. And it's super hard to get out of it. And in my case, with the eating disorders and with the sports addiction and with the fear of foods, the only thing that literally helped me was experimenting to find solutions. So like, obviously, first of all, you're ashamed, you don't want to talk about it with anyone, and then you also don't want to let go of it because that feels worse than staying addicted to it. I need air. And in my case, I started to just like experiment by myself. But honestly speaking, I was just moving from one to the other to the next. There was never anything that really helped me out. The only thing that, looking back on it now, truly helped me out was, first of all, talking with a person of trust. For me, a therapist did not work, but a therapist might work for you. And then also, yes, opening up and letting it all out and really speaking your truth, even if the words that come out like are disgusting for yourself, if the words that come out hurt you or make you feel even more ashamed about yourself, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I believe our thought chaos sometimes, and in the right circumstances and spot, needs to get out. Like, we need to say the things sometimes we think out loud to create some space inside of ourselves. And for me, that worked like magic. It took very long, but it really worked. And now I'm using my addictive tendencies to express myself. So I try to channel my behaviors into creating art, into expressing my feelings. Because I very often feel that people who are addicted / addicts, they feel unheard and unseen. Sometimes also unwanted in society, and they feel just like small, insignificant, Like, it doesn't always have to be. You can also be, I don't know, maybe successful, but you're so unfulfilled and empty and you don't know how to cope with the stress. But it's always something, like you feel not heard, not seen, or you feel stressed, or you feel empty. But it's always, there's a void inside that needs to be filled. And for everyone that's different. But what for sure helps is nature and God and meditation and prayer. Though I believe that sometimes, especially at the start, if you don't believe, that's like voodoo for you. Like, that's absolutely not what you want to do. And I believe that we don't need to get out of it alone, you know. People are really here to help you. People are here to help us. And it's like so much easier when you really go through things in life with a person. And I believe that can be online, of course, but in reality, like, a physical connection is so much more powerful. Like, I don't know, if you're really in trouble, there need to be almost a daily support, you know. I'm not saying that you need to be supervised, but in my case, for example, I felt like if I wouldn't have had the daily support I miraculously got because I was really bad, I would not have made it ever. And looking back on it now, I'm so grateful, because only because I was allowed to open up and to let it all out, I created a space, and then I could start to feel the space with something different than my addiction, something different than my self-destructive thoughts, something different than the emptiness and the pain that was created from not feeling loved. I'm really saying, like, if you don't want children because you cannot give love, because you hate yourself, please don't make them. Because I don't know if, no, it's possible through a lot of time and work and healing to overcome the feeling of not feeling loved and supported and accepted for your existence when you are a child. Because I don't know why, at least like my parents were always like conditioning everything. Like, why do you get raised by condition? Why do you need to do something in order to be worthy of love, you know? And I don't understand that. And I believe that the reason for my addiction is that I didn't receive love, that I didn't feel love, that I didn't feel accepted, and that I didn't feel supported, and that all this emotional punishment drew me there. And yesterday, for example, I was researching like PTSD and trauma responses and long-lasting effects and symptoms and everything. And like the stuff that's mentioned at PTSD completely was applicable for me. And I don't know, it was eye-opening, because somehow I feel like sometimes when you have experienced trauma, you don't really want to, or you don't really realize that you have it, even though that's totally obvious. But it's like, I don't know, something is blocking the pain, or something is blocking you from realizing what's actually going on. And I don't know, I feel like at the moment I'm like constantly out of breath. I'm like constantly, I feel like I don't have enough air in my lungs, you know. I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it's literally like not enough air in my lungs. I have problems speaking, I have problems articulating and finding the right words. Like, it all feels like, I don't know, like my systems are shutting down. Maybe for me to shut up and listen and observe more. But on the other side, I don't know, sometimes I really, even if I feel like I have nothing to say, I have nothing to give, like, I don't want to allow these thoughts to take over me, you know. That's why I set up the camera, because I want to learn to speak without thinking, because thinking comes from the known, but I want to speak connected to the divine. And I'm like using YouTube as an opportunity to train, to get access to this connection, because I know it works, you know. And I know how it feels when you're connected, and it's the most beautiful feeling. It's so gently powerful and so freeing. And That's also what it feels when you overcome your addiction. You feel free. Because before, you only feel free when you're doing what makes you addicted, right? Then when you do it, you feel like free for, I don't know, a couple hours or something like that. But then the guilt comes, the shame, the realization, or you have to do it again. And yeah, I don't know. I wonder in general why our societies have so much trouble with addictions, but probably because of lack of love, empathy, understanding, and support. If we would all give this to each other, one another, uplift, love, this world would be different. And also, I mean, I found out for myself that I cannot like confront myself with certain topics that are going on in this world because it's just breaking me. And then I was praying and thinking about if it's really needed for me to know these things and to like deal with them. I think it's not. I think we don't need to confront ourselves with absolutely everything simply because it's going on in this world. That's too overwhelming, that's too much, that's just destroying ourselves. So yeah, I don't believe that. And anyways, I'm here talking about addiction, right? All I know is that it's so terrible. Like, you feel so alone and you always feel like there's no way out of it. But there is, through opening up. I mean, there are also obviously different type of addictions, right? Substance and like mental addiction, I would almost say. Maybe everything is mental, but I don't think so. Something is physical and mental addictions. But yeah, if you're watching this, just know that you're not alone. You can get out of it. And you can learn from it, because you can use all the pain you felt and you can create something beautiful out of it. I so deeply believe that every person who goes through immense pain in this life can equally create immense beauty. And I hope that's you.